I wasn't even checking up on her. Not really. It was a Friday night, just past 10 p.m. I was alone on the couch with leftover pizza, some stupid movie playing in the background, and Rachel was supposed to be out on a girls' trip, 2 nights in some beach town, spa resort kind of thing. No phones, just wine and girl time, she'd said. I didn't expect a call. Honestly, I was fine with the space. I picked up my phone out of habit, bored, and there it was, Find My Friends. We'd set it up months ago when her car broke down and I had to come get her. I forgot it was still on. Out of curiosity, I tapped her name. No harm, right? And then, I saw it. Her location dot was glowing, steady, and absolutely not at any beachside resort. I zoomed in. It was outside my brother Sean's townhouse, not nearby, not passing through. It was right there, like parked. I stared at it, thinking maybe it was a glitch. Maybe she left her phone in someone's car. Maybe 100 things. I closed the app, reopened it. Same location. Isat up. My stomach went cold. Called her. No answer. I waited a minute, then she texted. Hey babe, just about to watch a movie The girls. Bad signal here lol. I'll call tomorrow. I stared at the screen. My hands were literally shaking. Not from anger. Not yet. Just that feeling. Like when you're about to get hit by something and your body knows before your brain does. Sean. My brother. It couldn't be. I opened her location again. Still there. Still. His place. I said her name out loud. Rachel. Just hearing it made something twist in my chest. I didn't reply to her text. I didn't call again. I just sat there, in that quiet apartment, with the sound of the fridge humming and the fake laughter from the TV echoing behind me. I felt like the floor had tilted. It's funny, people always say they knew, that they felt it coming. But me? I didn't know anything until that one little dot lit up on the screen, and even then, I couldn't imagine how much worse it was about to get. You know when people say, you just know when it's right? That was Rachel. We met at this housewarming party my friend Jonah threw. I wasn't even supposed to go, I'd just finished a long week, and I honestly wanted to stay home and zone out. But Sean, my brother, dragged me along, said I needed to get out of my spreadsheet cave for once. The place was packed. Too many people, too much noise. I was hanging by the kitchen pretending to be interested in the charcuterie board when Rachel walked in wearing this oversized maroon sweater and black jeans. Nothing flashy. But something about her. It was like she saw the world in slow motion. She walked up to the counter, reached for the last slice of Gouda at the same time I did, and just smiled. Didn't peg you for a cheese guy, she said. I laughed. Didn't peg you for a line cutter. She grinned. You want it? I shrugged. We can split it. She raised an eyebrow. That's either the laziest flirt I've ever heard or the smoothest. We ended up talking the whole night. About music, psychology, dogs versus cats. The way she described things, she could take a boring topic and make it feel like poetry. I remember her saying, people who laugh with their whole face, they're the safest kind. I didn't even know what that meant, but I wanted to hear her say more things. I texted her the next morning. So, I bought more cheese. You owe me a second half. She replied 10 seconds later. Only if you split it again. That turned into a coffee date. Then a movie. Then a walk where neither of us wanted to go home. Before I knew it, we were spending every weekend together. By the 3rd month, she knew my coffee order better than I did, and when I introduced her to Sean, they hit it off too fast. Sean was always the golden boy, good with people, always cracking jokes. Rachel thought he was hilarious. They bonded over dumb memes and their shared hatred of sparkling water. I wasn't jealous. Not then. I liked that she got along with my brother. It felt like we were building a real thing, something permanent. She'd come to our mom's Sunday dinners, help her in the kitchen like she'd been in the family for years. Sean would tease us, say, y'all are gross together. And Rachel would stick her tongue out and lean into me like she was proud to be mine. She'd whisper stuff like, you're my anchor, or I've never felt this safe before. And I believed her. God, I did. We moved in together about a year later. Got this small apartment with creaky floors and a kitchen sink that groaned when you turned it too fast. We didn't care. We had morning routines, me making eggs, her playing music off our Morning Vibes playlist. She'd hum along in this terrible off-key voice, and I'd pretend to hate it. She painted us a sign above the couch, home, where the playlists overlap. We were that couple that everyone said made sense. Not perfect but steady, and when I'd get stressed about work or money or whatever, She'd touch the back of my neck and say, "Hey, it's me and you, always." Looking back, maybe I wanted that to be true more than I wanted to see what was actually in front of me. But at the time, I was all in. I didn't doubt her. Not once. Until that dot showed up on my phone. "Why do you always turn your phone over like that?" That was the first time I said it out loud. Rachel looked up from the couch, where she was scrolling or texting or something. She blinked. "What do you mean?" I nodded toward her phone screen down on the coffee table like always. "You never used to do that." She sighed. "Seriously? You think I'm hiding something?" "I didn't say that," I muttered. "You didn't have to," she said, grabbing the phone and heading to the kitchen. "Jesus, I just wanted to have one night without you analyzing everything I do." That was the start. It was small things at first, subtle. But when you love someone, even the tiniest change feels like a warning. She stopped sending me songs during the day. That used to be our things ending each other music while we worked. One day I realized it had been 3 weeks. She used to call me on her lunch breaks. Now I'd get a quick text at best. "Busy today, talk later." I told myself she was just overwhelmed. Work stuff, right? Then she canceled our Friday night dinner plans. Twice. "The girls are doing wine night, and I promised I'd go this time," she said, slipping on heels she hadn't worn in forever. "You could have told me earlier," I said. "I already made the reservation." She kissed my cheek. "Rain check, okay? You can't be mad that I have friends." I wasn't mad. I was confused. The worst part? I kept talking myself down. Like, maybe I was being needy. Maybe I was just spiraling. I'd been cheated on before. Maybe I hadn't healed properly. She'd been so good to me for so long. Maybe she just needed space. But then, there were the bathroom breaks. She'd take her phone. Always. And she'd be gone for 15, 20 minutes. One night I joked, "Did you fall in?" She came out irritated. "Wow, thanks. Maybe I just needed a moment to breathe." That was the moment I stopped making jokes. She started posting less too. Our pictures together stopped showing up on her stories. I noticed because I checked. Pathetic, right? And when Sean came by for game night, something felt off. The way she laughed at his jokes, the way her body tilted toward him on the couch. Nothing obvious. Nothing I could call out without sounding insane. I told myself I was overthinking, that Sean would never cross that line, that Rachel was just tired. Maybe she was fighting something internal. People change, right? Still, I started to watch. I started listening. One night, she was talking about a new place that opened downtown, a little bar with retro lights and tiny booths. She said, "Sean told me about it. He said the drinks are amazing." I paused. "Wait, when did you talk to Sean?" She froze for half a second. "Not long. Just enough." "Oh, must have been last weekend, remember? At your mom's?" But we hadn't seen Sean since Thanksgiving, and she didn't notice that I noticed. I didn't say anything. I just nodded, like it made perfect sense. Inside, my stomach turned. I started keeping mental notes, logging little details. Times, phrases, locations. That night, I opened notes on my phone and typed, "She knows about Sean's new place downtown." I didn't tell her. How? I didn't want to become that guy snooping, doubting, second-guessing everything. But something in me had shifted. It wasn't jealousy. It was a quiet panic, like watching smoke curl under a doorframe and wondering if the house is on fire. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because deep down, I still wanted to believe there was another explanation. But what happened next? No maybe could explain that. I couldn't sleep after seeing that ping. I just lay there in bed, staring at the ceiling. Rachel's side of the bed was perfectly made. She hadn't slept in it the night before either. I could still smell her shampoo on the pillow. My mind kept going in circles. Maybe she's staying with a friend nearby? Maybe she loaned Sean something. Maybe it's all one big coincidence. But the problem was, I didn't believe any of those maybes. Not anymore. So I did something I hadn't done in over a year. I opened our shared photo cloud. We had it synced so we could share pics, automatic trips, memes, whatever. At some point, it stopped being romantic and just became routine. I barely looked at it anymore. But that night, I checked. There weren't many new photos. She must have disabled syncing. But one popped up from earlier that morning. A blurry shot. Looked like an accidental snap, maybe from her phone slipping while she was setting it down. It was mostly a brown couch. But it wasn't ours. I knew that couch. Same plaid blanket, same little dent on the armrest. from years of Sean crashing on it watching late-night basketball. It was his couch. I zoomed in, heart pounding. In the far corner, there was a reflection in the mirror, Rachel's face, barely visible, and she was wearing a hoodie, Sean's hoodie. The one with the faded University of Michigan logo. I gave it to him 3 Christmases ago. I stared at it so long my eyes burned. I took a screenshot, saved it, and backed it up in 2 places. My hands were shaking. I didn't cry. I didn't throw anything. I just sat there, hollow, like something had left my body. The next morning, I called Miani of Rachel's friends. She'd mentioned Mia was on the girls' trip with her. Mia? Hey, sorry, random question. Rachel with you guys? Mia paused. What? Rachel. She said you all went to that spa retreat this weekend? There was silence. I haven't seen her since Tessa's birthday. Why? Nothing, I said quickly. Just never mind. Mia said, Wait, is something wrong? No, I lied. All good. I hung up. My pulse was in my ears. Rachel had lied about the entire trip. She wasn't with her friends. She wasn't even trying to hide it that well. She just assumed I'd never check. That was the part that really broke me. It wasn't just the cheating. It was how easy it was for her to lie to my face. I needed more. Not because I didn't believe it. I did. But part of me still wanted to know the whole picture, even if it hurt. So I got in my car and drove to Sean's neighborhood. I didn't go to his door. I couldn't. I wasn't ready. But I parked across the street and waited. 20 minutes passed. Nothing. Then I saw movement. A woman walked out of Sean's townhouse. Sunglasses. Ponytail. Hoodie. Rachel. She didn't see me. She walked to her car, checked her phone, and smiled. I nearly threw up. As she pulled away, I noticed an older man next door watering plants. I recognized him, Sean's neighbor, Mr. Larson. Retired. Always in the yard. I got out of the car casually. Morning, I said, walking up like I hadn't just watched my life fall apart. Morning, son. You visiting Sean? Not today. Just wondering, has he had guests staying over recently? Mr. Larson chuckled. Oh, you mean the young lady? Thought she was his girlfriend or something. Been coming by all week. Real early, too. I nodded, trying not to let my face crack. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. He smiled. Didn't know he was seeing someone. Figured he was too busy with work. Yeah, guess he made time. I thanked him and walked back to my car. My hands were numb on the steering wheel. There it was. Everything I needed. Rachel, my girlfriend, Sean, my brother, together. And the worst part? I still didn't know how I was going to face either of them. But I knew this much: I wasn't staying quiet forever. I didn't want some dramatic blow-up. No yelling. No throwing stuff. No fists flying. I wanted calm. I wanted truth. So I set the scene. I texted Rachel first. Hey, been thinking about us. Want to talk tonight? Come by after work? She responded in under a minute. Yes, please. I miss you. Then I hit up Sean. Having a few people over tonight? You free? 7-ish? He read it but didn't reply for almost an hour. Finally, yeah, I can swing by. No emojis, no smiley face, just, yeah. The night came fast. I cleaned the apartment like I was prepping for guests, not a funeral. I set out drinks, lit a candle, put on some quiet music. If anyone walked in, it'd look like a chill night in. Rachel showed up first. Hey, she said, stepping inside with a hopeful smile. You look better. Do I? Yeah. Lately you've been, I don't know, distant. I raised an eyebrow. Have I? She walked over, touched my arm. I know things have felt off, but I want to fix it. We can fix it. Before I could say anything, the door opened again. Sean. He looked like he'd just run a mile. Hoodie, baseball cap, 2 bottles of IPA in hand. Hey, he said, nodding like this was totally normal. Perfect timing, I said. Come on in. Rachel glanced at him, then back at me. You didn't say Sean was coming, she said quietly. Didn't I? I shrugged. Felt right. Just family catching up. Sean sat down slowly. Rachel stayed standing, near the kitchen counter. I grabbed a chair from the table and pulled it into the center of the room like setting up for a show. Before we start, I said, reaching into my pocket, I want to show you both something. I took out my phone, tapped the screen, and slid it across the table. A photo filled the screen: Rachel in the reflection, Sean's couch, his hoodie, time-stamped. Rachel blinked, didn't move. Sean just stared at it. I found that yesterday, I said calmly. In the cloud backup. Rachel reached for the phone. I pulled it back. You weren't supposed to see that, she said quietly. Yeah, I said, voice shaking. I figured. She sat down slowly. It's not what it looks like. Don't. I cut her off. Just don't insult me. Sean cleared his throat. Man, I didn't want. I snapped my head toward him. You didn't want to? But you did. My own brother. He looked down. I turned to Rachel. Girls' trip, huh? I panicked, she said. I didn't know how to tell you. So you lied. To my face. For how long? She swallowed. A few weeks. I nodded. Sean whispered. Look, it didn't mean. Didn't mean what? I said, rising. Didn't mean anything? Was it just sex? Was it emotional? What part do you want to justify first? Neither answered. Rachel finally snapped. If you hadn't been so emotionally shut down lately, maybe I wouldn't have needed comfort elsewhere. I stared at her. Oh, so this is my fault now? She stood. You've been cold, absent. You stopped seeing me. I saw you, I said. I saw everything. I just didn't want to believe it. Sean stood too. Can we all calm down? I turned to him. You don't get to say that. You slept with my girlfriend. His mouth opened, then closed. I looked at them both. Rachel, arms crossed, eyes red. Sean shaking, ashamed. I picked up my keys. No screaming, I said. No chaos. I just wanted to give you one chance to own it. And you couldn't even do that. Where are you going? Rachel asked. Anywhere but here. I walked out the door, closed it behind me, and didn't look back. But what I did next, that was the part that really changed everything. The next morning, I didn't cry. I didn't traga. I didn't even text them. I just packed. One box at a time, I folded my clothes neatly, unplugged the coffee maker she never cleaned, grabbed my books, my headphones, my journals, everything that mattered to me but nothing that would make her life easier. I didn't slam doors. I didn't leave anything broken. I left everything clean. When I was done, I took a Sharpie and wrote a single note on a sticky pad. I stuck it on the fridge. It said, "Your mess now." And I walked out. No goodbye. No closure. I stayed at a friend's place that week, Jonah's, the same guy whose party I met Rachel at. He didn't ask questions, just handed me a beer, nodded at the spare bedroom and said, "Stay as long as you need." For the first few days, I didn't post anything online. I didn't block her. I didn't block Sean. Let them sit with the silence. Then I got to work. First, I called Rachel's parents, not to expose her, not to be petty, just facts. Hey, this is kind of awkward, I said when her mom picked up, but I thought you should know Rachel and I broke up. She's been staying at my brother's. It's not great. You might want to check in. Her mom was silent for a moment. Then softly, "We had no idea." "I figured," I said. Then I hung up. Next, I logged into my old Facebook account. I hadn't posted there in months, maybe a year. I typed out exactly 9 words. Sometimes family isn't blood, and love isn't loyalty. Posted. Logged off. Didn't tag anyone. Didn't need to. People knew. The next day, I started getting texts. From old coworkers, from mutual friends, from people who had always seen us as the perfect couple. "Hey man, you okay?" Saw the post. Damn. Wait, what happened? I didn't reply to most. I just needed the ripple, the quiet exposure. I didn't want revenge that burned the house down. I wanted the kind that let them live in it. With the stench. Rachel texted 3 times that week. "I need to talk. Please. You're hurting me by ignoring me. You can't just walk away like this." I didn't answer. "Sean?" "Nothing. Sovart." But I noticed something else. People started pulling away from him. His best friend unfollowed him on Instagram. Mutuals stopped liking his posts. It wasn't some huge cancel moment, but it was death by silence. I hit the gym. I journaled like hell. I ate alone. I slept with earbuds in so I wouldn't lie awake thinking about her breathing next to me. I didn't need closure from them. I needed peace from me. I bought a new notebook and wrote on the first page, "Don't wait for an apology. Live like it never came." That became my mantra. Some nights, I'd lie in bed and think about that couch, that stupid hoodie, how normal it all looked, how easy it was for them to smile through it. But I reminded myself, I didn't lose anything. They did. And the best part? They'll never get to rewrite the story, because I told it first. But what happened when she finally saw me again? That? That was something I didn't see coming. It had been 3 weeks. 3 weeks since I walked out of that apartment. 3 weeks since I watched the two people I trusted most sit in silence as their lives fell apart. I thought I'd feel emptier. But instead, it was like a fog had lifted. No more second guessing. No more pretending. Just quiet. Then, one night around 1:23 Amy phone buzzed. Rachel, I messed up. I miss you. 10 minutes later. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wish I could take it back. I stared at the screen for a long time. I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. The next few days, I stayed off social media, focused on work, took long walks after dinner, cleaned dishes before bed, did laundry without waiting a week. It's weird how healing looks like nothing. It's not big declarations or dramatic turning points. It's putting on clean sheets and waking up without dread in your chest. Then came my mom's birthday. I wasn't sure if I should go, honestly. But she texted, I know things are complicated, but I really want my boys there. So I went, walked in with a bottle of wine and a tight smile. And of course, Sean was there. Standing in the kitchen like nothing happened. He saw me, froze for a second, then gave this weak little nod. I walked right past him, didn't say a word, didn't need to. Mom gave me a long hug, held on a little longer than usual. She didn't say anything about it either, just looked at me like she already knew. I helped her slice the cake, sat at the far end of the table. Sean didn't try to sit near me. Good. After that, I started reaching out to old friends again, people I'd lost touch with during the Rachel years. Grabbed coffee with someone I used to work with before I met Rachel. We didn't talk about relationships. We talked about books, music, travel, stupid TikToks. She made me laugh so hard I snorted into my drink, and for the first time in months, I didn't feel broken. I felt present. She touched my hand across the table when we said goodbye. Not romantic, just real. And it made me realize something. Healing isn't loud. It's not revenge, not exposure, not proving you were right. It's making your bed in the morning and not thinking about who used to sleep beside you. It's remembering your favorite song because you loved it, not because it played on your playlist. It's realizing you're still whole even after someone else tried to break you. But there was still one more message Rachel sent me, Oni, that shook me more than the rest. And yeah, I read it. You always think betrayal is going to come with fireworks, screaming, crying, maybe something breaking, but it doesn't. It comes quiet, like a slow leak you don't notice until the floor caves in under you. That's how it felt. I thought Rachel was my person. I thought Sean was my brother not just by blood, but by choice. Turns out, they were each other's backup plans, and I was the fool holding the blueprint. People ask me now, did you see it coming? No. Not at first. That's the thing no one tells you. You don't see it until it's already too late. Until the dot on the map doesn't match the lie in the text. Until the person you love smiles in a photo, and something in your gut screams, they're not smiling at you anymore. And you doubt yourself. That's the worst part. Not the cheating. Not even the betrayal. It's the self-doubt. You question your memory, your instincts, your sanity. You ask yourself, was I really that blind? And the truth is you were, but not because you're weak. Because you believed in something they didn't have the guts to walk away from. I don't hate Rachel. I don't hate Sean either. I just don't respect them anymore. They took something from me that I can't get back, not love, but belief. Belief in the idea that some people just won't cross that line. But here's the part I hold on to. They didn't break me. They freed me. I don't check phones anymore, not because I trust blindly, but because now I trust myself. I don't need proof to walk away if something feels wrong. I don't need closure in the form of an apology. I don't need a reason to put me first. So if you're sitting there right now, questioning your gut, if your body knows what your brain won't admit yet, if you feel like the ground under you has shifted, you're not crazy. You're just catching up to the truth. And the moment you stop chasing their version of the story, you start writing your own. Because at the end of the day, she said it was just a girl's trip. Turns out, it was the end of us. If you've ever trusted someone too much and got burned for it, I see you. Hit subscribe for more stories like this.